Okay, so this will be the last video in the straight line series. So just a very, very quick recap, and we'll zoom out for this recap. We have gone through a brief outline of some of the skills. We've gone through quite easy starter questions, so maybe you've only got one skill being demonstrated and pop up. We've gone for the angle the line makes with the axis, so using your m equals tan theta. This is probably the most common pop up where we're working out a median and altitude and then the point of intersection. We just discussed this, we didn't actually go through it. It's exactly the same as this one. It's a slightly bigger question, but are the skills any different from what we're doing here? Nope, we're just putting them all together and then simultaneous equations. And the very last one, we're just going to look at some slight problem solving questions. So questions that maybe on the surface appear difficult, but really aren't. So let's have a look. A and B are the points negative 7, 2 and 5a. So I'm just going to draw that out just to give us a fact. Oh, you know what? Now I've found out how to draw straight lines. I'm going to use the straight line function. Go me. Okay, so we've got A and B. That down here. We've got A down here. Got B here. So we know that A is negative 7, 2. That B is 5a. And it sounds really obvious and I keep saying it, but do draw a little diagram just to kind of get it straight in your head. So now I've used this bit of information, I can just cancel that out. And AB is parallel to the line with equation. I'll just draw it in a different color. So this line over here has got the equation of 3y take away 2x equal 4. It's parallel to that line, that doesn't quite look parallel. That cursor. Pause the video and I'll see if I can just make that slightly more parallel. Yeah, there we go, slightly more parallel. So AB is parallel to that line, so they both share the same gradient. Fantastic. So I can get rid of that. Determine the value of A. Okay, so I'm thinking we've got the word parallel. First thing we should really do is work out the gradient of this line, green line, and then we know the gradient of this line. From there, we can then use our gradient equation to work out A. That seems like a fair strategy. Okay, so let's rearrange this then. So 3y is equal to 2x plus 4, so you're adding 2x to both sides. So y is equal to 2/3 x plus 4 over 3. So m is equal to 2/3, which means that this m is also equal to 2/3 as they're parallel. That's a good start. Again, if you're not sure what to do with these questions, get something down on paper. There's a mark to be had for rearranging and getting the gradient of the first line. So now we know that gradient. What do we know? We know that m is equal to y2 take away y1 divided by x2 take away x1. So I know that 2/3, which is my gradient, is going to be equal to 5 take away negative 7, it's just plus 7, and a take away 2. Fantastic. And now all we're doing is rearranging this. So I'll do a wee cross multiply where I bring this up here and this one up here. I'm going to get 2, a take away 2 is equal to 3 times, and 5 plus 7 is going to give me 12. So a take away 2 is equal to 36 divided by 2. A take away 2 is equal to half of 36, so 15, 16, 17, 18. So then A is going to be equal to 20. I add my 2 on. And we can just do a little quick sense check to make sure that's okay. So 12 divided by 20 take away 2, so 12 over 18. So is 2/3 equal to 12 over 18? Does that make sense? Well, I'm timesing the top and the bottom by 6. So to me, that sounds quite good. That sounds like that's making sense. So just a wee quick arithmetic check, make sure you're on the right line. Yeah, happy with that. Okay, so again, it seemed a bit wordy, but really you're doing a rearrange. These gradients are the same, and then it's just a little bit of manipulation. This question can come in the form where sometimes you'll end up with something like the gradient, say it was 2/3 whatever, is equal to a squared take away 4 divided by a take away 2. You can get this pops up a little bit. And what they're looking for you to do is to factorize. The a squared take away 4 would become a take away 2, a plus 2. And on the bottom, you get a take away 2. and they would cancel out. So sometimes you might have to factorize it, but don't get confused because you've got A's and A's. What they're looking for is a factorize and a cancel. So that's a nice little question. I think this is probably one of my favourite questions. I think this kind of, there's a lot of words in it. It's been quite an old paper, you can see, so it's just a wee bit different to what we would get asked now. Let's go through this. So AB is a line parallel to the line with equation that. Okay, so AB, there's my AB, and that is a line parallel to this line. I'll draw a line in properly. That's basically parallel. Yep, we'll take that. So it sounds similar to the last one so far. 3x equals 25. Okay. A's got the coordinate of negative 110. Look at negative 110 down here. Find the equation of AB. Okay, so we know they're parallel. So the gradients are going to be the same. This gradient, the same as this gradient. I don't know this point, so I can work out the equation of a line PG. Just one mark. Seems a bit harsh, doesn't it? So, same again. Y is equal to negative 3x plus 25. So if this gradient is negative 3, I know this gradient is going to be negative 3. And then it's just PG. Point, gradient, equation. My point is negative 110. My gradient is negative 3. And my equation will be y, take away b, x minus a, so two negatives make a positive. So y is equal to negative 3x. So that's take away 3 plus 10. Take away 3 plus 10 is going to become y equals negative 3x plus 7. There we go. So I've got my equation of that line. And then we've got a nice big 5 marker here. Now this does seem to usually, I think, get more broken up as papers have gone on, which is more helpful too because it kind of leads you to the answer. So this one's got quite a bit in one question. So that line, the 3y, see. Oh no, it's a different line. So 3y equals x plus 11 is a perpendicular bisector of AB. Okay, so we've got another line now. Slide's coming in. And that's the perpendicular bisector. That must cut it at 90 degrees and in half. And that line is 3y is equal to x plus 11. Determine the coordinates of B. Okay, so we know the coordinate of A. If this is the perpendicular bisector, we can work out the midpoint, and then we can go on to work out B. So the first thing we've got to do is work out where these two lines meet. So this is actually a simultaneous equations question to start off with. So I've got y is equal to negative 3x plus 7, which is my blue line, and I've got 3y is equal to x plus 11. Okay, so I'm going to times this one by, I'll times this one by 3, I'll times the top one by 3 because that's easier. So 3y negative 9x plus 21. I'll call that equation A, call that equation B. And I think I'll do A take away B. So that's going to give me 0, x plus 9x, that's be 10x. That will be 11, take away 21, negative 10. So x is going to be equal to 1. 10x is 10x is 1. Sub that back in. So y is equal to negative 3 times 1. Just pick any equation you like. So y is going to be negative 4 plus 7. So that's going to be equal to 3. So the coordinate where they meet is 1, 3. That's the intersection. Just got 1 minute. I'll click here. When I draw that line again, what I'm saying is the midpoint is going to be 1, 3. I know that A is negative 110, but how can I get to B? Well, if you look at it, I'm going up by 2 in the x direction, negative 1 to 1. So I'm going to have to go up another 2 over here, so that's going to be 3. And on the y direction, I'm going down by 7. I'll be going down by another 7. So 3 take away 7 is going to be negative 4. Finished. Okay, so you're looking at that ratio, but usually we add these two. Oh, you could double check that, right? Add these two together and half it. Yep, absolutely. Add these two together and half it. That's what we usually do. But here we're going in steps. Okay, the steps are going to be the same. So the video is going to cut out any minute. I hope that was helpful. Those last two questions are a wee bit more thoughtful. And yeah, I'd say that's most of the skills you're going to need for straight line. If you need any more help, I would check out Zeta. Okay, best of luck. Thanks very much. Hope that was helpful.